Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Nigel Oxley and this is What to Watch, the channel where we review watches, score them out of 100 and then stack them up against each other on the What to Watch leaderboard. In today's episode, we'll be looking at a very important question. The question of what to buy for a first watch for yourself or possibly for somebody that you're trying to introduce to the hobby. Now, this is something I have some experience in as I recently bought a first watch for somebody I know. And the watch we're going to be reviewing today obviously doesn't belong to me, it belongs to him. So I want to get him in to help me review it. Without any further ado, let's get him in. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my channel, my guest reviewer. Thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me.
A little bit about you first, let's get to know you. What's your name?
Harrison.
How old are you?
9, almost 10.
And how do we know each other?
You married my mum.
And what about you like outside watches?
Pokemon cards, Lego, video games, Marvel.
Perfect. So you've got a lot of Lego, yeah?
Yeah.
Great. What are your favourite pieces?
I recently finished a Batmobile. I have also got a Hulkbuster.
Perfect. And what are you working on next?
An Imperial probe droid from Star Wars.
Cool. Right, okay. So let's start talking watches. What are you wearing today?
Blue Casio calculator watch.
Very cool. And how many watches have you got altogether?
3.
And if you could have any watch in the world, what would you have?
Rolex Batman.
Well, you better start saving your pocket money then. Who's your favourite YouTube watch reviewer?
Just One More Watch.
Go on then, give us your best Jody impression.
Hello and welcome to Just One More Watch.
Perfect. Sorry about that, Jody. He's been itching to do that all day. And finally, what are we here to review today?
Seiko 5 SNK.
Great. Are you ready to get started?
Yep.
Have you got your notes?
Yep.
Perfect. Do the intro then.
Okay, that's enough of our faces for now. You've not come to see us, you've come to see the watch.
Same format as usual with this one. We'll be scoring the watch using my own devised scoring system. Harrison will have his input, but for the sake of fairness to the leaderboard, I'll have the final say on each category. As usual, there's 9 categories, 7 of them are scored out of 10, and then the final 2 are out of 15, as I feel they're slightly more important to me. Let's have a look at category 1, it's dimensions and comfort. Now this is worth 10 points. We measured this earlier. Harrison, what's the diameter of the watch?
37 millimeters.
And then the height?
10.4.
And finally, what about the lug to lug?
42.
Perfect. Right, so what about the weight? How much does it weigh on this leather strap?
57 grams.
Okay, and so just to give that some kind of comparison, my Submariner, sized up for my 6¼ inch wrist, weighs in at 146. So this Seiko is a very light watch. Harrison, how big are your wrists?
5 inches.
Okay, so does it feel comfortable on your wrist?
Yes.
Okay, and just for comparison, here it is on my wrist. Now, although this is small because it's a field type watch, it doesn't look out of place on a grown up either. What should we give this, Harrison? What do you think? Looks good on you, looks about right on me, but might be a bit small for someone with a larger wrist.
I think an 8 out of 10.
Okay, I'm not going to argue with that. 8 out of 10 it is. Category 2 is case, bezel and crystal. Now this is also a 10 pointer. Okay, Harrison, let's start off with the case. What's it made out of?
316L steel.
That's right, and as you can see, it's got a blasted finish to the case and to the bezel. Now, why don't we go swimming in this?
It only has 30 meters of water resistance.
Okay, so let's call that splash proof then, rather than waterproof. And then, what about the crystal? What's that made out of?
Hardlex mineral.
Why is that not as good as sapphire?
Because you can scratch it.
What have you done with yours?
Scratched it.
Okay, so nice looking case, but not very waterproof and not a great crystal. Shall we say 5 out of 10?
Yeah, I think we should.
Perfect. Okay, category 3 is dial and hands. Now, there's a few different colour options with this one, all of which I think work really well, although I'm not a massive fan of the cream. That's just personal opinion. Harrison, how would you describe that dial?
It's a dull blue, not a very shiny blue.
Okay, what about the markings on the dial? Are they placed on and raised up, or are they printed on and flat?
Flat.
Okay, so no applied indices here. What does it have around the dial which helps you tell the time?
Hours in the middle and minutes round the edge.
Okay, perfect. And what other feature does it have at the 3 o'clock position?
A day-date function.
And why do you constantly remind me of this?
Because none of your watches have a day and date.
And then what about the hands? What about the hands make it easier for you to read the time?
Because the hour hands reach to the hour markings and the minute hand reaches to the minute markings.
So, dial and hand score, nothing super special, but it does the job. Let's give it a 5 out of 10. We move on to our next category, category 4, which is bracelet and clasp, or in this case, strap. Now this watch came with a 2-piece nylon strap, which was way too big for your wrists and pulled at the fibres of the jumper I was wearing when I tried it on out of the box. So, as not to ruin any of your clothes and get mummy angry, I swapped it out for this distressed cowhide leather quick release strap, which is designed specifically for shorter wrist sizes. If you look at the WatchGecko website where I got this from, they have a number of options for shorter wrists. I bought a number of straps from these guys and I would highly recommend them. What do you think about this strap?
I like it, it's comfy, and I can swap it easily because of the quick release spring bars.
Okay, well, you never saw the original strap, so you can't comment on it, but personally, I think it was a bit naff. I'm giving it a 3 out of 10. Category 5 is movement. Now, what is the movement called inside this?
7S26.
And what do you know about this movement?
It's made by Seiko.
Good, so it's in-house. What else?
It's automatic and it has a 41-hour power reserve.
Cool, and how accurate is it?
-20 to +40 seconds a day.
Great. So what's the beauty of this watch then when we turn it over?
You can see the movement through the case back.
That's pretty cool for a first watch, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so not super accurate, but in-house and automatic with a day-date function. Let's go 5 out of 10. Category 6 is value for money. Now, as this watch was bought as a present for Harrison, and I don't want him to know how much it costs, can you do me a favour, put your headphones on and listen to some music for a while?
Okay.
Perfect. Just a quick check to see if you can hear. Harrison, would you like some chocolate? No? Okay, I think we're good. So, I paid about £80 for this watch at the time. Add the £25 or so for the replacement leather strap, and the watch owes me just over £100. Now, although this model is now discontinued, you can still find them as new old stock for just over £100 to £150 on eBay and Amazon and a few other online retailers. If you compare that to the price of the SRPH Seiko 5 Field Sports models that have replaced this, they're roughly 2.5 times that price. So, for a first watch that is from a big brand like Seiko, is automatic, has a display case back, so someone new to collecting can see the movement, I think £100 or so is excellent value. I don't think you can get a better watch for the money today. I'm giving it 10 out of 10.
What? That watch cost £100?
I thought you couldn't hear.
Oops.
Category 7 is design. Harrison, I'm going to come back to you for this one. What do you think? What kind of watch would you describe this as?
A field watch with a kind of Flieger style dial.
Okay, what do you like about the design on this watch?
It's easy to tell the time and it's comfy.
Okay, what about when you would wear this watch? Is it casual enough to wear with a t-shirt?
Yep.
What about smart enough to wear with a nice shirt if we went out for dinner?
Yes, definitely.
And then what about special occasions? Have you worn it when you've got really dressed up?
Yes, I wore it when I was best man at your wedding.
So, there you have it, an all-round Flieger style dial field watch that you can wear for any occasion. 7 out of 10. Category 8 is worth 15 points. It's brand and heritage. Okay, so you've done some research. What do you know about Seiko?
They are Japanese.
Well, yeah. Anything else?
Started in 1881.
Hang on, that's older than Rolex.
Yeah.
Interesting.
They made watches for the Japanese army in the Second World War.
Okay, so good solid watchmaking history. What about Seiko 5s, since we're looking at one of those today?
The first Seiko 5s were made in 1960s.
And then what about the 5? What relevance does that have?
All Seiko 5 models must have the same 5 things.
Okay, can you remember what they are?
They must be automatic. They must have a date at the 3 o'clock. They must be water resistant.
Well, let's say splash proof.
They must have a hidden crown at 4 o'clock. and case and bracelet built to last.
Well, you can't argue with any of that. Sounds like Seiko have a good history and a great brand. I'll give it 14 out of 15. And the last category is grin factor. Now, grin factor is that feeling a watch gives you when you put it on. Does it make you feel special? Do you feel better, smarter, or more important when you're wearing it? Now, remember Harrison, this is 15 points. Give me a grin factor. Out of 15, how does it make you feel? Remember, you said that your ultimate watch would be a Rolex Batman, so that would be a grin factor of 15, right?
Yes.
So what's this?
About a 9.
I'm not going to argue with that. It's your watch after all. 9 it is. So, Harrison, what's the final score for the Seiko 5 SNK?
66 out of 100.
Great. Let's have a look where that puts it on the What to Watch leaderboard. Not bad at all. Just underneath the Steinhardt from the last episode. Let me know down in the comments what you agree with and what you disagree with from today's episode. I'd love to hear your thoughts either way. Thank you for watching, and thank you very much to Harrison for taking part. You've been a great help today. If you think Harrison's done a good job, please give us a like. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss anything upcoming. Who knows, Harrison might be back on the channel before you know it. Do you want to wrap this up for us?
Yep.
Okay, look into the camera, off you go.
And remember, if you're ever unsure what to watch, just look out for another one of our videos.
Thanks, dude. See you next time.